Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm wearing new attire today. Give me a minute to share this out to the masses. Perfect. So I hope everybody's having a good week. Wednesday, but here I am. Am I coming up here? You can see and hear me on. Okay. Who are joining me today? Perhaps some of you, these products were okay. So thank you. Today is kind of an introductory. So why would you want to use weights on your plate? Different reasons. I'm just gonna put them on the floor. Concern, you've got body that's add weight or add mass, body exercise, or we're isolating, doing on the floor more effect strength, where perhaps maybe you lack to force the muscle at a level other than just so I always say the term we want to do more. They're going to on your vibration plate now version. There's a ladies and I'll the launch videos that Amber but if you do have questions clearly on the other end so if you look at the product list, work with the vest first, a vibration plate the street with your friend as you do vision. So you can go about your task, enjoy the challenge that just 2 pieces. Okay, so the front and the top. Okay, this is where you. So I don't have much trouble figuring him. So I must have done this about to me at first. So I brought breathe. You want to have a little pounds. The men's is booted adjustable ankle. Oh, nothing. Wrap it around your ankles. So maybe the vest itself. The ankle weights you can also wearing them on your legs combined holding one. So there's a little bit of hello Betsy. That it's taking some time to come through. Giving you grief, let me know. Okay. Other reasons. For your vibration plate or your is probably next to bit about next. It's going to be the most universal tool for everybody. The reason I I really enjoy, and this is like my fourth weight vest. Um, this one is way newer and nicer, and actually has more velcro. Adjustment points than my old vest. There wasn't a the one I've been using doesn't have an adjustment point up here, so it hangs low on me. Both my husband and I use this, so I like the fact that I've got something that's a little bit more customized for my frame. My husband, who's larger in the shoulders and the chest, this will be a better fit for him. So, whatever exercises you might be doing on your plate, simply by adding the vest, it's going to force the muscles to work harder. They're having to support more mass. So, for those of you that are just starting out, maybe you're on that bone density path and you're trying to improve your situation. Um, you know, beginning weight bearing exercises. So standing on your plate, bearing your mass, but maybe you've got a bad knee. Maybe you've got a bad hip. Maybe the range of motion or the balance isn't there yet. Just by standing with the knees slightly bent, have the knees bent enough so they're not hitting you in the head. The movement isn't hitting you in the head. It's not harmful, but if you've got the knees bent a little bit more, I know that the quads and the glutes are doing more of the work than you just standing there passively and letting the machine shake you. anything you do on the plate is going to boost lymph and circulation. But we're looking at weights today, so I'm assuming we're talking about, bone density, weight loss, toning, strength type things. So if you are able, and you want to start increasing strength, burning more calories, bend depending on your range of motion. A squat is like you're getting ready to sit in a chair. You want to make sure that you're in balance, but you don't necessarily need to move up and down, okay? And if you're just starting these types of exercises, or you're a new user and you're wearing a vest right now, you'll already notice that it's harder. Why? Because of what I said earlier. We've added mass to what your body is normally used to supporting. So it's going to have to work harder to keep you upright, okay? So that's just one example. I think you will also enjoy adding the ankle weights. And again, a lot of people, because they're called ankle weights, we put them on the ankles, but they're equally as effective on the wrist. Maybe I bought the girls' vest and the challenge isn't enough. We didn't even have to strap them on. Just by picking up that additional 10 pounds, so I've gone from 15 pounds to 25 pounds, I can feel that I'm heavier. I can feel I'm being pressed more into the plate, and I can feel that my muscles are working harder. So, just static exercises for those of you that have the goals of fitness, but maybe lack the body to be doing dynamic exercises or really deep squats yet, just by adding mass is a great way to boost that. And I would suggest having a stool or a side table, something beside you or in front of you, so you can easily pick them up if you do decide. It's just a great way to make your time on the machine more effective. I'm going to leave the vest on while I demo the other products. So that's option one. Other exercises that are really, really ideal for things like weight loss besides squats and bone density is lunges. Lunges are also another exercise you're really going to feel the extra mass. We've distributed our weight now between the front leg and the back leg. So if you are able to bear weight, but maybe you don't like the head vibe, or you're not completely comfortable standing on the plate yet, regardless of whether you're on the plate or not, you've added mass to your frame. So your body, whether you feel it or not, is working harder. So if you wore your weight vest around all day, you'd feel stronger in a day or two, just because your body's carrying that additional weight. And perhaps maybe you do other activities. Your vibration plate is your warm up, or it's your recovery. Maybe you go to the gym. The vest is a universal tool that you could take to the gym with you. For those of you that want to continue strength training and you're traveling and maybe you don't want to take your plate with you, these add-on accessories that don't have to plug into the wall are great additions, not only as a complement to your vibration plate workout, but to the lifestyle in general. And variety is great. It's nice to mix things up. So the next tool I'm going to move on to, if you have any hand grip strength issues, sometimes this type of apparatus is challenging because you have to use your hands to hang on to it. So if your hands are not strong enough to pick up even the minimal weight on the kettlebell, I would suggest working on other things first. The best way and my favorite way to improve grip strength and endurance to a degree, maybe you're dealing with neuropathy in the hands, and something like this is easily universal. You just might need a little help getting it on till you figure that out yourself. But with something like this device, so this is the new PowerStone kettlebell, and there are two different ones. There's the PowerStone, which adjusts in. It says that it's a 7-piece kit, but the bell itself, and then there's 6 different weight adjustments. So you can go from 3.5. I love doing this, and my kids love doing this. So we're at 3.5. We've got 7, 10. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't go all the way. So 3.5, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19.5, and 22.5. So it sits on this base. I gotta show you this. Okay, so yeah, this is 22 pounds. So it's a little, so there's the adjustment increments here. This is the base that it sits upon. Yes, there's even little rubber foot stickies. Okay. And you can see there's grooves on the sides of it. It really only kind of fits in one way. So I'm going to back this baby up to something that makes me look better on camera. I'm at 13 pounds. So what I like about kettlebells particularly, and I've used them for years on a vibration plate, is they're a really good tool where you want to add intensity to your standing exercises, or while you're doing your standing exercises, you want to, maybe target upper body a little bit more. And, maybe getting down on the ground and doing push-ups is not always your cup of tea, or maybe you've got range of motion issues. So the very easiest way to start using something like this on the plate is just hanging onto it while you're standing on the plate. So I've still got the vest on, mind you, but I've added now 13 pounds to my frame. And it's a great little tool. I've always used kettlebells to make sure people are really bad for doing this. So I kind of rest it, just like if you've ever seen my ball trick. I rest it just above the knees and I squat down, hold, 2, 3, and I stand back up, 2, 3. So it's just another way of adding mass to your frame, especially if you're just getting started out. Maybe you've got some biceps that you want to tone. Well, everybody knows what a bicep curl is. Okay, I'll make sure you got good form, posture's there. Hopefully my mirror is showing you that my posture is good. Any exercise you do with a kettlebell on the floor, you can recreate in a standing exercise on the plate. Just a really great way to add to your experience. One thing I really do love about this over other kettlebells I've worked with, this handle has a lot of space. I have little hands and there's still room, but I can hang on to it with both hands. The other set of kettlebells that I have that I've used for years, I've got to overlap my fingertips and I don't have a flat grip on it. So I like ergonomically, if that's the right word, how this fits in my hands as well. So a basic exercise, if you are just starting out, keep your machine time to about 5 minutes. Doesn't mean that you need to have the weight, the vest, or the kettlebell on you the whole time. But if you're just starting out, you may find 3 to 5 minutes, a couple 3 times a day is a better way to start using your plate. There's some newbie stuff I want you to get used to. But if you exercise now, and a lot of the the tools that I'm working with today, you're familiar with, you may have your own exercises. I used to do one at the studio where we set it down on the ground and I called it Pick Up the Grandbaby. So we squat down, we pick up the baby, we put it in our arms. We're going to put the baby back down. 1. Pick the baby back up, put the baby in the arms, baby back down. I'm sure there's a clever song. But what's nice about using accessories like the kettlebell, like the vest, for those of you that are stagnant, we're getting into that time of year where we're all getting back into routine, or perhaps, you've plateaued, the results have been there and you're not feeling any worse, but you're not seeing any progress. Sometimes, something as simple as adding a little weight to your plate, thus the name of today's topic. It's a matter of deciding which weight would work best for you, other members of your household. So I do advise, if you're dealing with grip strength issues at all, this looked a little bit challenging. It's not something that you see yourself using regularly. I think the vest is a very universal tool. I like using both personally. So if I'm in fit mode and I got to look the part and I have to have a 6-pack and I got to be to show and spandex, I like using my vest, but I like isolating different muscle groups with kettlebells. I love using the Triform system. That's another great tool. And then, of course, Lifepro has all these adjustable dumbbells as well now. So I'm really excited about the addition of the kettlebell in particular to the lineup. The Triform system does have a kettlebell that it can convert into, but I think this is more traditionally what you think of as a kettlebell. And like I say, I love the design on the handle where I can get both of my hands personally on it. Hubby's got a bigger grip than I do, and there's still about 1.5 to 2 inches room once I've got a hold of this. So it's going to fit most users. And as I said, like the weight vest, there are 2 different sizes that have different weights. With the PowerStone, the regular PowerStone is anywhere, it adjusts from 3.5 to 22 pounds. The PowerStone Boulder, it's called, starts at 5 pounds and goes upwards of 44 pounds. So for those of you that are adding weights to your plate, one precaution I will advise as well, depending on the model that you're using, if you're working with a compact, the mini, any of the hexa plates with bumps, make sure that you take into account your mass and the mass that you're adding to your frame. You want to make sure that your machine's got capacity. If you're hovering at capacity, and you're 10, 15 pounds over, this is not a Lifepro thing, but in my experience, unless you're doing a lot of dynamic exercises and jumping around on it, it's really not going to stress your machine out. Keep your hip width modest at about hip width apart if you're just standing for your exercises. For those of you that are using your plates more regularly, or you work out regularly and you want to take on more intensity, that's fine. Just make sure that when you're standing wide, you're not destabilizing yourself. Sometimes when you add mass to the movement of the plate, it's not about fighting or resisting the movement. If you feel like you're tensing up and you have to fight the machine to stay stable, you've probably taken on more amplitude in that position with that speed than your body's used to. So just bring the feet a little bit closer. And for those of you that are just starting on, some of those longer term goals, you are dealing with a below baseline health situation. You're thinking about the bone density, you got osteo, whatever it may be. You got to go in for a knee replacement and you got to lose some weight. Weights can be a fantastic tool without complicating a lot of the exercises that you may be already enjoying on your vibration plate. So a couple of new tools to add to the lineup. As I said, Amber has done a launch last week. I know Roseanne also did some workouts this weekend, and we haven't had any new weight toys in a while. Not since, I don't think, the Triform system. So it's that time of year. The kids are getting back to school and into their activities. Time to enhance yours. So if you are considering anyone else of any of these products, just so you know, right now they are 30% off directly with Lifepro. So I put the links in the comments. Hello, Leo. Thank you for being here. Hello again, Candace. And hello, Betsy. I don't know if you guys are still having buffering problems. I'm not seeing huge attendance on the other end. So sorry if the internet isn't being super friendly today. I will be here, as I said, tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a little bit more of an advanced workout. Plan on about 5-10, probably 10 minutes machine time. Make sure you're hydrated. And if you do have the new Lifepro FlexVest or one of the PowerStones, bring those with you, or bring what you have at home if you've got weights and things of those natures. Things of those nature. We will be probably 3 to 5 exercises, and we might do some massage at the end. I'll show you a few tips for both the new FlexVest and the PowerStones in an advanced workout tomorrow night. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for joining me.